What is up guys, my name is the Eagle Source, coming at you with another Battlefield 3 gameplay. Yeah, I will mix it up a bit in the not too distant future, I hope, but for now I'm just going to stick to what I'm used to and stick to Battlefield. I think that's probably the best thing to do just while I'm easing myself back into this process. I think while this topic is still kind of relevant to most people, I do want to talk about my Battlefield 4. Well, I'm not going to call it a wish list because it isn't really a wish list. I'm not going to sit here and talk like all the other big YouTubers have when it comes to talking about Battlefield 4 and say, you know, I want more guns with more variation, I want more game modes, I want more modifications, and I want a dinosaur mode. My God, I want a dinosaur mode. I'm not really going to go down that route because, as far as I'm concerned, DICE know exactly what they're doing when it comes to gun balance. Battlefield 3, although it took a hell of a long time, is a much better balanced game than most of its competitors, and I'm sure DICE can handle it. But what I do want to talk about is these kind of subtle things that I'd like to see done. Now, the first one of those subtle things that I would like to see done is very simple. It's matchmaking. On console, matchmaking is a lot more essential than it is on PC, because on PC, this might well just be me, and I don't have statistics that back up my view, but from the way I see it, the skill gap or skill gulf on PC between the best and the worst is much, much lower than it is on console. On console, you have players who can barely walk around and acquire a target, let alone kill anything. And on PC, you don't really get that as much. On console, you get players who are unbelievably good, in the same way that you get players who are unbelievably good on PC. And that's fine, but I do want matchmaking to be better, because in this game could have been so much better if the matchmaking, if the quick match kind of functionality was a little bit more advanced. The rent a server feature, I think that came just a little bit too soon in the end. And I would have liked to have seen better matchmaking to accompany the rent-a-server features. Specifically, I need to see a filter for ticket count above all else in the quick match feature, because quick match is unusable at the moment for me, because I don't want to get put into rush games where the ticket count is 500%. Basically means you get a guaranteed win if you're on the attacking side. I have never played with a team that's bad enough not to win a rush game when they have 400, 500 tickets per base. And I do think that really does need to be tweaked if you want to make the servers a bit more balanced and then the game a bit more enjoyable as a result. So better matchmaking, please, better filters. Second thing, Battle Log needs to be better integrated into both the PC and the console games. These are games, they're not internet-based applications or anything like that. I do think Battle Log, if you're going to make it work the way the players want it to work, you need to integrate it better into the actual game itself. Now, I know that DICE have just released, more or less, just at the time of making this video, they've pretty much just released a Battle Log trailer, in which they kind of go along that line and say they are better integrating it. You know, I think there's a couple of Battle Log things making their way into the end game screens, which is very nice. That's exactly what I want to see. And there's a couple of other things as well. The main thing that comes to mind to me is server browser for PC users and platoon functionality for console users. Some of the most enjoyable multiplayer games of this generation have been the ones where clan support has been at its best, and Battlefield 3 could be just as good when it comes to that if you integrate the platoon system so much closer with the actual game. The system is just on Battle Log, and I find it completely useless. It's just a way of grouping users together. It's like a sort of glorified mini forum or something. You basically have nothing. There is no integration there. I would like to see maybe a platoon screen in the multiplayer where you go on and you know and you can see your platoons and you can see everyone who's in your platoons and who's online, and you can make squads a lot easier within platoons. That would be very, very good from my point of view, and it will make the game a heck of a lot more enjoyable. And those two are the main things. The flashy stuff, you know, using your tablet as an external mini map, it's all very well and good, but if the the rest of Battlelog has complete disparity compared to the rest of the game. I'm not going to be happy with Battlelog as a platform. Another couple of things basically refer to map design and focus. In Bad Company 2, the game just felt more focused, partly because certain maps, I feel that you know, when DICE were designing the maps, they went through, they looked at where they could place rush bases, where they could place conquest flags, and if it wasn't working, they cut that mode from that map. And as a result, some of the maps weren't available for rush, and some of the maps weren't available for conquest, and the list goes on with the other modes. And I'd like to see that back if DICE are going to do what they did in this game and make the rush mode a bit half-arsed and make the conquest mode on a bit half-arsed on particular maps. I think Caspian Border is a great example of this. There are much smaller maps that have 5 bases, and I don't know why this map has only 3. It completely ruins the game in terms of flow. The flow of this map is disgraceful, because you go from having really fast-paced action on the ground in each of the 3 bases to having to run absolutely miles if you're on foot, because there aren't enough vehicles for everyone, just to get yourself to the next base, and I think that's poor and needs to be tweaked. The other thing is the beta. Don't make the really massive tweaks like you did between the beta and the full game. You know, frag rounds weren't a problem in the beta, but the problem was created. The blue filter wasn't a problem in the beta, but the problem was created. I'd like to see the beta used for bug fixing and for weapon balance, and I'd like to see hot fixes to make weapon balancing a bit quicker. And that is really all I have to say on this topic. There's not really much that's, you know, I'm just going through the subtle things for now. I might go into the more dramatic things that I have in my head at a later time, but for now, that is the end of the video. I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Goodbye.